بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. In the last two sessions, we talked about some of the reasons why people may fail to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be grateful. بيان السبب الصارف للخلق عن الشكر, the causes that may stop people doing shukr. Now there is a question: what is the treatment, what is the cure for those hearts which fail to be grateful? He says some hearts are insightful, are able to understand, able to see. Their cure is very easy. Their cure is just to reflect on what we have said so far, to reflect on varieties of blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that each of us has received. But those hearts which are not able to understand, able to see, they need more serious cure. And one important way to cure those hearts is to compare themselves to the people who are lower than them in their condition. People who have less blessings, less bounties, more difficulties, they have gone through more calamities, and reflect on those things. So he says, فَإِنْ قُلْتَ, this is Al-Mahajjat al-Bayda, volume 7, page 222. فَإِنْ قُلْتَ فَمَا عِلَاجُ هَذِهِ الْقُلُوبِ الْغَافِلَةِ حتى تشعر بنعم الله فعساها تشكر. If you say, what is the cure and treatment for these hearts which are heedless, so that they can appreciate blessings of Allah, so that they may thank, فأقول, I say, this is my reply, أما القلوب البصيرة فعلاجها التأمل فيما رمزنا إليه من أصناف نعم الله تعالى. Those hearts which are basir, which are able to see, they have insight, they just need a little wake-up call. Their cure is at-ta'ammul, reflection on different types of ni'mah that we pointed to. But ammal qulubul balida, those hearts which are not very intelligent, which are not very clever, allati la ta'uddu an-ni'mata ni'matan illa idha khassathu aw ash'ara bil bala ma'aha. Those which are not very intelligent, unfortunately, and they don't see ni'mah unless that ni'mah is only for them. If something is for everyone, they don't think it is ni'mah. They take it for granted. Ni'mah has to be only for them, or they must see that there is a problem, and then they wake up. So, فَسَبِيلُهُ, these types of people, these types of hearts, their cure is that they look at people who are lower than them and ينظر أبدا إلى من دونه always look at people who are lower than them. And they should do what he says some of the Sufis used to do. وَيَفْعَلَ مَا كَانَ يَفْعَلُهُ بَعْضُ الصُّوفِيَّةِ. Some Sufis, some people who were very much trying to focus on spirituality. Of course, Sufi has different meanings, and it has been used in different senses. But here means people who were very much interested in spirituality. إذ كان يحضر كل يوم دار المرضى والمقابر. Some of these people, in order to remain grateful, every day they used to visit people who were ill, either in their homes or in hospitals. If you go to a hospital, then you better appreciate your health. You visit ill people, and you see there are so many different types of illnesses which are there, and you are, alhamdulillah, okay, so you will appreciate. Wal maqabir. Every day they used to see graveyards. So when you see the people who have died and their life is finished, you appreciate your life. وَالْمَوَاضِعْ الَّتِي تُقَامُ فِيهَا الْحُدُودِ. And the places in which punishment is carried out. For example, in the past, sometimes, maybe still in some places, there are some places that if a criminal was going to be executed, was done in the way that other people can see and take lessons. So these people used to go also to these places and then realize that, alhamdulillah, now they are not going to be punished. They have life, they have safety, security, they are free. They are not in prison, they are not chained up. فَكَانَ يَحْضُرُ دَارَ الْمَرْضَى لِيُشَاهِدَ أَنْوَاءَ بَلَاءِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى عَلَيْهِ. We're going to see hospitals or homes of ill people to see that they don't have those problems. ثُمَّ يَتَأَمَّلْ فِي صِحَّتِهِ وَسَلَامَتِهِ. Then we're reflecting on his own health. فَيَشْعُرْ قَلْبَهُ. Then he would make his heart understand بِنِعْمَةِ الصِّحَّةِ عند شعوره ببلاء الأمراض. When he is seeing illnesses, then he makes his heart aware of health. Now, imagine if you see someone who is not able to, for example, see, someone who is not able to walk, someone who is not able to eat. There are so many types of illnesses. Or يشاهد الجنات الذين يقتلون وتقطع أطرافهم. To see junat. Junat is the plural for jani, means criminals. Janaya, those who do commit crimes. So they used to go and see the criminals and how they are going to be punished, so that they thank that, alhamdulillah, they are not criminals, they have freedom, they are not arrested, they are not in prison. وَيَحْضُرَ الْمَقَابِرِ. They used to go to graveyards. Even you see here, graveyards are in every, part of the city. So when you pass by a graveyard, it's good to think that you have, alhamdulillah, gift of life, appreciate the gift of life. فَيَعْلَمْ أَنَّ أَحَبَّ الْأَشْيَاءِ إِلَى الْمَوْتَى. When you go to a graveyard, think about this. What is the most wanted, most beloved desire for dead people? Pardon? Yes. To be given even one day, 24 hours, that they can come back and fix something, sort out something, do something, visit, some people. Maybe to come to Jose, take one more lesson and go. with some mubahisa. فيعلم أن أحب الأشياء إلى الموتى أن يردوا إلى الدنيا ولو يوما واحدا. To come back to dunya, even if it is one day. Those who have been sinful, they like to come back and fix problems. أما من عصى الله فليتدارك. He wants to come and fix and compensate. He has committed ghaiba, wants to go and ask for forgiveness. Wants, I don't know, owes something to say that, I owe you, I can give you or I cannot give you. Anyway, to fix out. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أَطَاعَ. But even those who are obedient, they want to come back and do more ta'ah. فَلْيَزِدْ فِي طَاعَتِهِ. Because even if you have been all your life obedient, when you die, you realize that you don't have enough and you want to do more. فَإِنَّ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يَوْمَ التَّغَابُنِ. Day of Qiyamah, day of judgment, is the day of regret, remorse. Those who have been sinful regret why they sinned. Those who have been obedient, they regret why they didn't do more. No matter how much you have done, you need more. I think I told you this story that some people were sent to a dark tunnel and they were told there are some stones on the ground, the floor. If you take them, you regret. And if you don't take them, again you regret. It's up to you. So some people didn't take. They said, if you are going to regret if you take, so you don't take. Some people said, if you are not going to take, also we are going to regret, so let's take, and just out of curiosity. When they went out, they saw these were jewelries. So those who had not taken anything, they started Salam Alaikum, shouting, protesting. Why you told us if we take them, we regret? Who is going to regret if has taken jewelries? Then they were told, you would regret why you didn't take more. Okay, they were sent in a dark corridor, dark tunnel, and they didn't know. So we cannot blame them why you didn't take. But now we have all the information. We know what are the jewelries. And if we don't take them as much as we can, we regret. So if you know these are jewelries, what do? You put in your pocket, you put in your, inside your shirt. You carry with both hands as much as you can. Maybe when you put in your ear, because you want to take as much as possible. So now that we are alive, we should do this with hasanat. As much as you can, collect hasanat, and if you cannot collect, at least make niyyah. When you work hard, and then you reach your limit, after that your niyyah works. If you don't work till you reach your limit, your niyyah doesn't count. Yeah? If I can, for example, teach 10 people, and I teach 10 people and make niyyah for teaching more, it counts. If I can teach 10 people, I teach 9 people, and say, I wish to teach 100 people. Then Allah will tell me, still you could do one more. You understand? Just the difference between 9 and 10 is not that much. For most of us, the difference between what we do and what we can do is not that much. But if you manage to do the maximum, then after that you enter the world of intentions. and then you can just with intention get as much as you like. So, فَالْمُطِيعُ مَغْبُونٌ, those who have been obedient regret إِذْ يَرَى جَزَاءَ طَاعَتِهِ, when they see the reward for their acts of obedience. فَيَقُولُ كُنْتُ أَقْدِرُ عَلَى أَكْثَرَ مِنْ هَذِهِ الطَّاعَةِ, I was able to do more. You know, I remember when I used to have exams. You know, sometimes, you know, for exams, we study a lot. You know, I remember I had one admission exam, which was very important for me in the Hose. And I used to study a lot. And then I was telling myself, if I study like this all my life, you know, how much more I can learn. So I'm sure we are all going to regret when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us what we could have become. As I told you before, Allah may not expect me to be like Allama Tabatabai or like, for example, other great scholars. But Allah would show me on the day of judgment that you yourself could become this. Maybe someone like Allama, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know, but each of us could become a great person if we had utilized all our potential and used our capacity to the maximum. That is regret. That you see, you would have become that person. So, every person who is muti would say, كُنْتُ أَقْدِرُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرَ مِنْ هَذِهِ الطَّاعَاتِ, I was able to do more than these things. فَمَا أَعْظَمَ غَبْنِي إِذْ ضَيَّعْتُ بَعْضَ الْأُوقَاتِ فِي الْمُبَاهَاتِ. They say, what a great loss I have because I have wasted some of my time in doing mubahat, things which were permissible, but not ta'ah. This person is obedient, it's not done, has not done haram. But it says, oh, I spent, you know, some time just doing nothing or, you know, talking nonsense. I didn't have good intention. I just wasted my time. So this is their regret. وَأَمَّا الْعَاصِي, but those who are sinful, of course, فَقَبْنُهُ ظَاهِرٌ, their regret is obvious. فَإِذَا شَاهَدَ الْمَقَابِرِ, so when a person goes and visits graveyards, وَعَلِمَ أَنَّ أَحَبَّ الْأَشْيَاءِ إِلَيْهِمْ أَنْ يَكُونَ قَدْ بَقِيَ لَهُمْ مِنَ الْعُمْرِ مَا بَقِيَ لَهُ, and thinks that these people who are in graveyard, they all wish to have the same life that is remaining for me. So, فَيَصْرِفْ بَقِيَّةَ الْعُمْرِ إِلَى مَا يَشْتَهِي أَهْلُ الْقُبُورِ الْعُودَ لَأَجْلِ. Then he would try to use the rest of his life in what? In not what people who are alive want to do. Do rest of your life in what people who have died want to do, if they were able to come back. If those who have died, you ask them, what you want to do, you go back. They don't say, you know, I want to go back and watch, you know, football, or go to cinema, or just, you know, I don't know, enjoy myself. They have many serious things in mind that they want to do if they go back. So in the remaining of your life, you must do things that those people wish to be able to do if they come back. So that this becomes your understanding of blessings of Allah in the remaining of your life. And also the fact that you are able to continue, Allah has given you muhla, has given you, you know, some more time to continue. So, this is the treatment and cure for those hearts which are not very intelligent. Those which are very intelligent, they can reflect on the blessings we have mentioned. Those who are not very intelligent, they have to look at people who are lower than them, people who suffer, people who have died, people who are ill, people who are going to be punished, and appreciate what they have. Then he says, one of the people who was very spiritual, his name was Rabi' ibn Khusaym. Although he was not a person who was in need of such cure. مع تمام استبصاري. He was one of those first, type of people that they had basira. But still, in order to appreciate and make sure that he has proper understanding, he had done something nice. كان قد حفر في داره قبرا. He had made a grave for himself in his house. I am not saying you do this or you don't do this. It's up to you to decide. Sometimes it might be useful, sometimes might not be useful, But he was doing this. فَكَانَ يَضَعُ. He was putting chain on his neck and then lying down in the grave. Then he used to say this ayah that in Quran we have, حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت. They say, oh Allah, please send me back so that I do something good with what I have left. So he used to go to the grave, chain up himself and say, رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا. Then after some time, he was standing up and going back to normal life. But counting this as a dead person is sent back to dunya. So your understanding and appreciation would be much different because we take life for granted. Every day that you wake up, it's like a new life. So he was telling himself, Ya Rabbi, قد أعطيت ما سألت. You asked to be able to go back to dunya, you have been granted your request. فَعْمَلْ. So now, do act. قبل أن تسأل الرجوع فلا تراد. Before the time comes that you ask to be going back, but you will not be given permission. Now you have been given permission. You can do this every time that you wake up. If you don't have grave. So, because when we are asleep, really, it's like a kind of death, a kind of new life. One of the things that those hearts which are not grateful should do is that أن تعرف, to know أن النعمة إذا لم تشكر زالت ولم تعود. You must know. This is also a good way to educate yourself. Blessings, if are not thanked for, they may go away and never return. If you are not grateful for what you have been given, then they may go away. So it's very important that you are grateful for what you have been given. But unfortunately, in the social life, sometimes there are people who don't appreciate, then all people lose the blessing, like al-Bayda alayhimus salam. Like Amirul Mu'minin, for example, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein. So even if some people appreciate, it's not sometimes enough when whole people don't appreciate. So Fuzail was saying, عليكم بمداومة الشكر على النعم. You must be constantly grateful for blessings. فَقَلَّ نِعْمَةٌ زَالَتْ عَنْ قَوْمٍ فَعَادَتْ إِلَيْهِمْ. It's very rare that a blessing goes away and returns. If blessing is not appreciated and Allah takes it away, it's very rare to come back. وَقَالَ بَعْضُ السَّلَفِ. Some of the earlier scholars said, النِّعَمُ وَحْشِيَّةٌ فَقَيَّدُوهَا بِالشُّكْرِ. Blessings are like wild animals. Domestic animals, they remain. Wild animals are not used to be with people. If you don't, tie them or catch them, they go away. Blessings are like wild animals. They run away unless you plan and do something to keep them. The way to chain them up is shukr. قَيَّدُوهَا بِالشُّكْرِ. It's like knowledge. قَيَّدُوا الْعِلْمَ بِالْكِتَابَةِ. Knowledge, sometimes you hear something nice. You must have always paper and pen to write down, because knowledge is also wild, can run away. Even if you have very good memory, your memory is not enough to keep everything. So, writing down is very important. Gratitude is a way also to register blessings and keep them. Then there is a hadith. ما عظمت نعمة الله على عبد إلا كثرت حوائج الناس إليه. Allah's blessings would not increase for someone unless people need him more. We have also in Shia sources that one of the blessings of Allah is كثرة حوائج الناس إليكم, that many people need you. Yeah, it's a blessing that you can help people. So this hadith also says, ما عظمت نعمة الله على عبد إلا كثرت حوائج الناس إليه. The blessing of Allah would not increase for a servant unless need of people for him would increase. فَمَنْ تَهَاوَنَ بِهِمْ. Then is this person would not respect people properly and underestimates them and undermine their needs. عَرَضَ تِلْكَ النِّعْمَةَ لِلزَّوَالِ, or عَرَّزَ تِلْكَ النِّعْمَةَ لِلزَّوَالِ. He is endangering those blessings and exposing them to expiring. So if Allah has given you any blessing and people can benefit from that, give them. You are like a channel of mercy. If more people benefit from this channel, Allah will put more in this channel. Yes? Like, family. If you give to your family, your children, Allah will give you more. Sometimes people think that this is their rizq and they are giving part of their rizq to family. No, this is not your rizq. This is rizq of them also. What Allah gives you to you is for your spouse, for your children, for your parents. Yeah, it's their rizq, but you have been chosen as a channel. Also, what you give to needy people, it's their rizq. في أموالهم حق معلوم للسائل والمحروم. There is something known and fixed for the poor people. Allah expects you to give them, and you should also make it necessary and obligatory for yourself to give them. Or knowledge. If some people depend on my knowledge, inshallah Allah would give me more to give to people. And students, if they need also more, they should pray for their teacher so that inshallah he receives more and inshallah gives more. وقال الله سبحانه إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. Allah will not change condition of people unless they change their condition. The minimum is that this is about blessings. Because some people say it's for good condition and bad condition. Allah would not change your good condition into bad condition unless you are not grateful, or would not change your bad condition to good condition if you don't act. But the minimum is at least for blessings. That we have in another ayah, ذلك بأن الله لم يكن مغيرا نعمة أنعمها على قوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. So the minimum is that if you have good condition, Allah would not take it away unless you change. But maybe sometimes you have bad condition and Allah would change it just out of blessing. Like people of Mecca, they didn't, improve so that Allah gifted them with Islam. Yeah? So sometimes maybe Allah obliges people without them deserving it. But certainly He would not take away a blessing from people who deserve, from people who are good. Do you get my point? So at least on the positive side, لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. Although it can be also from both sides, that if a society wants to change from negative to positive, also they must change. Because even if Allah may initiate blessings, this is not guaranteed. But if you do something to improve your condition, it's guaranteed that Allah will help you. Now, then, alhamdulillah, this part is finished. We enter another part of the book, which is about both sabr and shukr. As you remember, this was kitab was sabr wa shukr. We talked about sabr, we talked about shukr. Now, الركن الثالث من كتاب الصبر والشكر فيما يشترك فيه الصبر والشكر. Now there are things which are common. We have discussed exclusive parts about sabr and shukr. Now things which are common and connects them with each other. The thing that inshallah we need to discuss next session is how is it possible that you are both grateful and patient for the same thing? Because many people have the impression that either something is bad and you have to be patient, or something is good and you have to be grateful. But in Islam we know that we have to be both patient and grateful. Like in months of Rajab, Allahumma inni as'aluka sabra shakirin. I request you to give me patience of those who are grateful. So we need to explain, and there is a very good discussion, detailed discussion, how blessing can be something that you have to be grateful, but at the same time you have to exercise patience. Of course, there are exceptions when a blessing is 100% good. If you remember, we said some of the na'am are absolutely good. But many na'am can be good or can be bad. It's relative. For example, iman is never something that can be bad. But knowledge, money, mal, children, power, all, you remember we said can be sometimes good, sometimes bad. But iman is always good. Inshallah, we will talk about this in details in the next session. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to include us among the people who are grateful for all the blessings that they have been given, for all tragedies and calamities that they have been saved from, plus they are grateful for any blessing that any other person has received. I think you are not grateful enough if you don't thank Allah for what Allah has given to other people. So you should thank Allah for all the blessings that He has distributed among all people. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Yes. Yes.
I just wanted to ask you, you talk about being grateful.